live. We are back with our sixth episode of Almost a Party. Took a week off due to some various party members needing some personal time. Uh, we are going to be missing our cleric for a while today and one of our druids for a little bit today as well, but they should be jumping in as we play. So, where we last left off, our players had returned to the city of Bracknell after fighting through a Gnoll base. Having gathered some information, they realized they had no way to communicate back to the counselors how to what they have accomplished. Eventually, they got a hold of the mayor in the city of Bracknell, and using his sending stone, were able to report back to the counselors. After which, the party decided to go ahead and get some food and some sleep. And the following day, they got their items investigated. They had received the sending stone from the mayor, and then decided that they wanted to go back out and look at the Gnoll Base once more. And so we pick up with our players in the city of Bracknell, getting ready to head out. So, the day is yours. You've already made a plan to head back out into the swamp. What would you like to do?
Now remind me, was Ito awake by the time we made that plan?
I do not believe Ito was involved in the plan at all.
That's true.
Yeah,
We've
I'm pretty sure
realized
you collapsed in bed.
we forgot a few things, so we're gonna split up a little bit. We were at the armorer, and Ori's you were gonna drop off some of the things we're carrying.
Yeah, I'd
Zeki
like to.
needs to buy stuff. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Ores has decided, or had thought about donating the telescope to the Temple of the Star Mother in town temporarily while we're on expedition, so we're not saddling it around with us.
Okay.
We got our battle telescope. Mizeki needs to buy some spell components because he can do that now.
Okay.
And we also probably want to send someone to say hey to the mayor that let them know we're leaving because we promised we would do that before we died in the swamps.
All right.
Steph can do that after a hearty breakfast.
Okay, and so you guys wanted to drop off the telescope at the Temple of Thalia the Star Mother, and then you wanted to go get more components for spells, and then let the mayor know you're going to go. That'll all be fairly easy to do. Who is doing which activities?
Ore, I
Yeah, go ahead.
was going to say, Ore is going to deliver the telescope.
Okay.
Mizeki just needs to pick up a spell component pouch so he can go do that by himself real quick.
Steph will go to the mayor.
Okay. And everybody
Anyone
else.
can join Ore.
Alandiel is sleeping in. Nice big old bed that he's got to himself. Enjoying it. Sadzi Ito?
Ito has probably at some point woken up and begun just kind of like he probably found an open space and started practicing with his spear.
On the table next to your bed is a bag of old sushi from the night before.
It's been preserved by a spell though, so it's totally fine.
Ito will
Ew.
very gladly take this and eat this immediately.
All right. You
Well,
eat
I
the
don't have
sushi.
anything specific. Does anyone need help with their various errands?
The telescope is heavy.
Sure, I can come along and help you with that.
Manual labor.
All right. So Ore and Sadzi, you make your way through the city to the Temple of Thalia. The temple is made out of onyx, and is dotted as if to represent stars in the sky against a black stone. As you enter in through there, you are greeted by a furbolg with light blue fur and thick black hair on the top of his head. As he comes forward, seeing you carrying a telescope, he goes, "Patrons, bringing a donation to the temple?"
Yes, I am Ore. I am also a disciple of Thelia. I we have my party has come across this um, telescope, and though I would like to keep it with us, we are venturing further into the swamp, and as to keep this safe and preserve it, I was looking to see if you would be willing to temporarily make use of it in the temple.
Yes. "Well, that is very kind of you, Ore. I am Sorrow. Nice to meet you." And
Like,
he looks at the telescope that you have, takes it from you, lifts it much easier than uh, you have been able to carry it, looks it up and down, and goes, "Where did you find this?"
we discovered it in a Gnoll stronghold a few hours north of town in the swamps.
And here I was gonna say we just found it under a tree.
Interesting.
That there were a few trees, many of them felled.
Do you
It looks,
know who put it there? Or, or how long it has been there?
my assumption is that the Knolls had put it there, though we did discover there were more than Knolls at that compound. It may have been a tabaxi. Uh, as for how long it has been there, I do not have any estimation of time.
The tabaxi. Did you see them?
We did not, though we believe it was a tabaxi of dark fur, possibly known as Shadow.
Huh. There was a tabaxi came through here about 6 months ago. Calico claimed to worship Thalia. One of our telescopes went missing shortly after they arrived. This seems to be that telescope.
Then this has been quite fortuitous. I am happy to have returned it to you.
So Atsuli's going to very nervously check the dye that she put on her fur on the lighter patches to make sure that it's not wearing away early.
So it seems to be holding up pretty well. Your disguise there. Um, Sorrow turns and says, "Thank you very much for returning this. Is there anything that we can do for you?"
I'm not sure if we have much in the way of need at the moment. We are looking to journey again into the swamp and quite possibly do a sojourn to see if we can find Fertile's blessing. If you have anything that may aid us in that quest, it would be most appreciative. But compensation is not necessary. We are happy to return the telescope.
Very well. As far as fertile blessing, I know nothing of it. We turn to the skies, not to the lands. So unfortunately, we would be of no help. But if you go and visit the temple of Agricola and Koldava, Perhaps they can assist.
Thank you. Um, you said you did not know of the much of Fertile's blessings, but you did know the temple was to specifically those two divines.
Well, they are the divines of plant life and agriculture. I assume with a name like Fertile Blessing, it would belong to them.
I kind of really want to insight check this guy.
Go for it.
A whopping 15 for a total of 20.
All right. So with your 20, he seems very honest, very genuine, and it is a very clear leap in logic that something called the Fertile Blessing would likely have to do with plant life and agriculture.
You think it would be a pretty easy leap, but Ore was totally oblivious to him knowing that specifically. So
Townsperson displays basic logical deductive skills. The party, he must be a villain.
just caught him off guard that he was able to name the temple because Ore just discovered that. Um, okay. Uh, I appreciate your assistance. If there is anything that you can contribute, but if not, we will take your blessing as we venture forward.
He goes, very well. And he pulls out a small coin pouch. And he goes, this was to be the reward for whoever returned the telescope to us. And he hands it to you.
How heavy is it?
It's decently heavy.
As I said before, compensation wasn't our gain, but I do appreciate this. This may certainly help and aid our expedition. Thank you. You said have more than one telescope as well?
We have many. Would you like to join us in the courtyard this evening?
If I am still in town at the time, I absolutely would. If not, I would like to see those when I return. Thank you for the invitation.
Very well. It was nice to meet you, Ore.
Thank you. And this is my companion. I look over to Sadzi. Is Sadzi like really trying to shy away from this guy?
She's basically keeping her head down and is like, please don't notice me. I am background.
My companion was thankful as well. She's shy at the moment. You have a nice evening. I hope the telescope is fully intact. This is the way we had discovered it.
We will look it over and repair it if it is not.
Then I will bid you good day. Thank you. And then we'll turn and kind of give Sadzi a nod and start heading for the door.
Miseki, so it's pretty easy to acquire your components. Is there any specific components you are looking for?
I need a strand of copper wire and some feathers, so I could probably pick them up on the ground if I like hung out near somebody who works with those things.
Yeah. So those are also things that you can acquire at the general store. So
Yeah,
that's pretty easy to grab.
I was mostly just looking to get the component pouch itself.
Okay. Yeah. Again, that would be something available at a general store.
Cool. Then I will head that way.
Okay. Uh, so, and you can just go ahead and acquire that for the price it is listed as in the player's handbook.
Jesus, 25 gold.
Yep.
That's expensive. It makes sense, but man.
Spell component pouches are expensive. Spells, expensive. That's how they get you.
It is. It's
Magic
the
ain't
the
cheap.
true ratchet. Yeah.
All right. And then, Sefin, you were off to see the mayor.
Yeah, just give me a second.
Okay.
Stefan is finding his way through the city. And there's the marriage place. Knock, knock, knock.
All right. So after you knock on the door, or a few moments later, Plazat opens the door and goes, "Ah, I did not expect to see you so soon. I returned last night and spoke with the one you call Ore. I did not expect to see you today."
Oh?
"Yes, come in, come in. Would you like some tea?"
Yes, of course. I'd be delighted.
He goes, "Are the others coming as well, or is it just you?"
Just me was the plan, but they may arrive.
"All right. Well, let me brew up some tea, and to what do I owe the visit?"
We've come to inform you that we have plans to leave the city. We are going back to that fortress that we found in the swamps to investigate.
"Very well. Thank you for letting me know, but you do not need to. You do not report to me. In fact, you now have my sending stone, so you can report directly to the counselor if you wish."
Thank you. Noted. Though we did make you a promise yesterday to let you inform you if we were to leave. So nothing more than that. We're just fulfilling our end of the bargain, and I wouldn't mind having some delicious tea at the same time.
He goes, "Ah, well, very well." And he walks back into his kitchen.
While
Comes,
he goes back, Seth will palm the sending stone and just kind of look it over.
okay. Yeah, so it's a fairly generic sending stone, just has a picture of a face carved into it, as a typical sending stone would.
Hey, it's our cleric.
Hooray!
Hey, our cleric has arrived as well now.
Whoa!
Indeed.
So while he's looking at the stone, Stefan will be thinking of his acquaintances back home and how it's been a while, and just sitting there contemplating while Tazat brings the tea back.
All right. A couple minutes later, Blazat comes with 2 mugs of tea and hands one to you and begins to drink. And he goes, "So, you're venturing back into the swamp, to the fortress you cleared out. Is there anything you hope to gain from doing so?"
Well, maybe a fortress. Seth chuckles.
He goes, "Very well. And the Gnolls, you've dealt with them?"
We believe that is what we're going to confirm. Though this fortress is in the wrong direction from the intelligence that we learned here in the city.
"Well, from their city, yes. Kuche is on the tip of the tail, off to the west, the swamp, to the east and north. So, yeah, not exactly where their home base is, but it sounded like, from what you spoke of, that maybe they were setting up a remote station to watch and observe to be closer to Bracknell for."
Indeed, we will track this lead and then we will return, most likely to the city, on our way through to Kuche.
"Very well. Well, if you do come back through, stop by, and I will be happy to make you some more tea."
He sips the mug quite speedily because it's about time to be going, but he'll nod his head and thank Plazat and then excuse himself to go find the rest of the party.
All right. Elandiel, you wake up nice and refreshed in your big old bed.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
You look around. Ore, who had been staying in your room for the evening studying, already gone, with pretty much everything else that was in the room. Most notably, the telescope is gone.
I'll go check in everybody else's rooms.
All right. So you go across the hall, and you do see that Ito is there, munching quietly on some day old sushi.
Morning.
Ah, good morning. Um, I I am very sorry. My character voice for Ito changes every time I try to do it.
Well, character voices are not needed, but do as you wish.
How's the sushi?
Quite. Oh, is that what this is called? It's quite good.
I bet anything compared to what you've been eating for the last couple months has to be considered probably a delicacy for you.
Well, yes, more or less. It is quite a bit better. Yes. Do you know how long this was sitting here? Not that I mind. Just it was odd to see it right here when I woke up.
I think we brought it back in the evening. Last night when they came back. The rest of the people from, I believe they were talking with like the mayor and stuff. They brought some food back.
Ah, okay, okay. Thank you. Now, is there anything I missed while I was asleep?
Just woke up myself actually.
Okay. Um, good to know. Good to know. And last night, did I miss anything?
You snore pretty loud. And they had been talking with the mayor, giving them the heads up about everything they found in the swamps, like the cat dude, we believe running away. And I've actually been looking for the peeps to rejoin them. You want to come with me?
Certainly, certainly.
All
Yeah,
right.
if you need a minute to pack up, we can just head down and see if they're in their room still.
Ito shrugs and just stuffs the rest of the sushi in his mouth and follows.
Okay. So you head down to the other rooms that were rented out, and nobody else is there. You head on down to the common area, and just as you get there, Ore and Sadzi come walking in through the front door.
Hey, morning, guys. Where are you getting back from?
Interesting story. The telescope I was going to temporarily donate to the Temple of Thalia, turns out it was their telescope that had recently been theft away.
Oh, love it when a temple gets their stuff back. That's super cool. Man, that would have been nice to be there for. They'd have been super happy.
It was quite fulfilling, I believe is the sensation I felt for returning it.
Aw, jealous I couldn't be there.
Be right back.
Yeah, I think Ori was so happy to give it back to them that he almost didn't take the reward they offered.
Not good advice to shun a reward from a temple. But, but I mean, standard preference, like depending on what it is, it's always good to offer not to take it, but if they insist, general courtesy as you probably should.
I did not feel that compensation was the reward that I was seeking, but it is still nice to be appreciated.
Fair, I suppose.
The gods bless those who do their will.
Around this
So it
time,
would seem.
Mizeki and Sefin return from their places.
Mizeki's gonna stay downstairs and point towards the rooms that he knows they should be in and try to message them each until someone responds to him, just saying, "Hey, me and Stefan are downstairs."
You can see them all downstairs.
Oh, they are downstairs already?
Yeah,
And
having
he's
Message
going
them
to
conversations.
go
anyways.
to bed and do it anyway because he just got this ability recently and it's terribly good fun.
I believe I can hear Mizeki. Oh yes,
Yes,
he's standing
I
at the
can as
door.
well.
I believe I can see Mizeki.
He's just over there making finger guns at people, whispering things.
Ore makes the finger gun shape in his hands and he's just kind of staring at his fingers. Then he looks up at you. He's not like doing the finger guns back. He's just trying to figure out what it means.
You don't
Am
figure
I
it out.
am I still fluttering constantly?
You are.
He's gonna again entreat silently inside his head. Hey, can we stop this, please? It's not helpful.
Is it? Is it not helpful?
It
Oh,
makes it very difficult to be hidden.
yes. But why do you need to be hidden?
It's what I do.
Oh, but you can do so, so much more. I can show you.
I have to
The
imagine in
world.
I have to imagine in the middle of this, Ito's just asking about the fluttering.
I'm just that fantastic. So, have we finished everything we were intending? Should we head out now?
I am ready to depart.
Aye, let us depart.
Ito nods and follows along. Nobody ever discussed him actually staying with the group, but he just assumes.
Hey, just like that guy, like or person, being, since there's multiple races in this world, that just like follows you, and you're just like, ah, he's cool enough, sure.
The secret is we're just not going to give him any treasure. He just follows us around.
Conveniently,
he'll
he
he'll
doesn't
earn it
even value
eventually.
gold that much.
Perfect.
All right. You continue on your way through the town, heading out back into the swamp. You begin to follow and retrace your steps from when you first went in. As you are making your way through the swamp, you hear voices up ahead, speaking
Are they?
in a harsh
Oh,
language that is familiar, but none of you understand.
does it sound like Gnoll?
That's what your
It's
bet is.
Now, does it sound like one of the leaders?
It does not.
I guess it's time for sneaking.
I mean, do we have any idea of what it could be if it's not Null?
No. If it's not Null, you're not sure what other harsh language it is.
It's drunken dwarvish. So
We would know that one.
so it's true we would. So has the fluttering stopped? Because Mizeki's probably going to want to sneak up ahead
It
and
has
check
not.
stuff out. Okay. So he's going to entreat inside his head. If you keep fluttering, I'll die and they'll take the ring.
Hmm. So, what you're saying is you want to trade your life for my power.
That is a very large leap.
Well,
Perhaps we can negotiate further later.
yes. Well, If you want to control the power, then we need to strike a deal. Until then, I am in control.
Okay. Fantastic. So then he's going to look at everyone else and say, I'll try my best to sneak ahead, get some eyes on, and then we can maybe take them full force. If they're like last time, they're not very friendly.
Stefan will step up to Mizeki and say, "May the luck of time be with you," and cast guidance on him. Don't ask me why time has luck; it just does. Okay.
Sure. Works for me.
All the best things have luck.
So I guess I'm going to attempt to sneak
Okay,
kind of out and around a little bit if I can.
go
And see if
ahead.
we can get eyes on these guys.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
So that's a 14 plus the 4, so 16 total.
Okay. So you go walking out away from the group to get a better eye on it. As you do, you hear the voice in your head going, "So you want to be hidden? Let me show you what I can do." The
This
other
guy's like a used car salesman.
The other 5 of you notice as Mizeki goes walking away, he slowly begins to vanish, and you only see shimmers of him as he moves.
Did I just go invisible?
Turned into the predator.
He's turning into mist. That's interesting.
Does he normally do that?
It is the first I have seen of it.
We all definitely noticed all the fluttering of his clothing, right? The entire time we've been with him.
Yes, I think I actually asked him about it. He just kind of deflected it.
This does not bode well.
You don't know. Maybe I got really cool first level spells.
So, what do you think? Do you like it?
I mean, is he invisible to himself?
So you look down to where your hands should be, and you see them shimmer as if they are resembling the ground below. As you move and hold them up to the sky, they begin to shimmer as if they are the
Oh,
sky above.
so like a chameleon-y sort of deal. Fancy. After a second, Mizaki's going to probably look at it and flex and say, interesting, useful. Though I do particularly enjoy how I look, so perhaps not my favorite method.
He goes, "Very well. Have it your way." And you instantly just see yourself there, standing. Everybody else, you can see him standing there. And the fluttering has stopped.
So he's just basically popped back into existence.
Yep.
That it's not fluttering anymore.
Yep.
Does anybody else think that's just really weird?
As this
He may not.
happens, the voices that you have been hearing suddenly stop.
Bastard.
Then you hear howling.
So the ring's an asshole. We've established. Cool. Good to know.
Just think, you could have been a magic sugar baby if you'd just said yes.
I would like you all to go ahead and roll initiative. And for those of you that haven't joined into Fantasy Grounds yet, go ahead and do so. And there is a map, random encounter swamp. Go ahead and pull that up.
you don't just become a magic sugar baby. There's deals. You don't just go. You don't walk into the car dealership and go, "Yeah, take my life, and I'll take that Ford sedan." There's some
I mean, I thought
negotiating.
that's what a payment plan was.
You want this 1988 Ford? Sign here.
You're gonna have to get on that altar. And we're gonna cut open your chest and take your heart.
No,
I
no,
want
no,
to
no,
see
no.
a scene.
This is more like the Machine and Princess Bride. They just suck each year of your life away.
All right. So, Alandia, what did you get for initiative?
A whopping 9.
9. All right. Mizeki,
8.
8. All right. Ore,
21.
okay. Sadzi,
14.
Ito,
15.
and Sefin.
19.
All right. So, Ore, you are up first. In the distance, up ahead where Mizeki ran off to, you can hear howling coming from that direction, but you do not see anything
So west on the map.
west on the map.
Okay.
I am going to try and close the distance to Mizeki, and if I see something malicious intending him harm, I'm going to react to it.
Okay. So, where would you like to move to? Oh, and I guess I could flip over to the map so everybody that's watching can see. So it gets into difficult terrain as you get into the swamp. So you can, yeah, you can make it to just about there. All right. Sefin.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm kind of slow. But let's go ahead and stay in our slow dwarven form for now until we know where the threat's coming from. So I'll advance my 25 feet to the west.
Okay.
Still don't see anything.
Still do not see anything when you get there.
All right. I will hold my action to cast Flaming Sphere as soon as I see anything pop out of the bushes, and I'm assuming they're in the forest, and I will cast the Flaming Sphere at the first thing that I see that's in range.
Okay. Ito.
So Ito's going to be kind of flashy. He's going to basically take a running start at this and try to jump over as much of the muck as possible.
Okay.
So I believe the long jump rules are with a 10-foot head start, you can jump up to your strength score,
Correct.
which in my case is 19.
Okay.
Which, can we just round that up to 20?
Yeah,
No.
sure.
Oh, too
Okay.
nice.
So, so if we have him like, if he takes here and then jumps 1, 2, 3, 4,
He's
that
just
puts him at
jumping
the end
over
of the
Stefan because I'm so small.
Yeah. Yeah, because I believe it
You have
says
to go
like
pretty
you
high
can
to
jump.
clear. Yeah.
I believe it says you can clear an obstacle in the middle of your jump that's like a certain height compared to the jump distance, and I believe Sefin is under that.
Plus, you can
You're
also
calling
just tell
Stefan
him
an
to
He's
duck.
5 feet
obstacle?
tall.
Yeah, you can always
Yeah,
ask
I
him to
could just
duck as part of it. So whether he accepts that or not is up to Sefin.
He'll duck.
All right. You clear over Sefin. Sadzi.
I'll go ahead and move forward, just to the southeast corner of that bush to the north.
Okay.
And can I go ahead and prep a spell, firebolt, in case there's anything coming?
Yeah. So you want to hold Firebolt for when you see An enemy. Got it.
An enemy in range. Yes.
Okay. All right. Alandiel.
I will approach the water. Oh, how do I get my movement measurement distances?
Each square is 5 feet. I turned off the measurement
Okay.
on this map.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the swamp you said's difficult?
Yep.
So I can move 3 then. Beep, beep, beep. I just want to get on the other side. This is gross water.
Okay. Mizeki. What do you want to do?
Get back. Step 1. Can I hide behind that bush up where Sadzi and Elendil are, do I think? Or do I need to go behind this tree that's to my west?
Don't come back into the water. Go to the trees.
Yeah, but if they can see me, like if it's a shitty tree.
So the bush in the swamp is much, much smaller than that tree.
Okay, so probably the tree would seem like his best bet if he wants to hide.
Possibly. Given the area, there's not a lot of great places to hide unless you want to like submerge yourself completely under the water.
And I
Yeah,
don't think
Mizeki's not
gnolls
going to
have
do that.
thermal vision that you need to worry about.
I was just kind of thinking, like, I don't know how we're gonna fit 2 people and a centaur behind a bush.
Maybe it's a big bush.
So where do you want to go, Mizeki?
I'm gonna run all the way around this island down to behind the other bush on the south, using my bonus action dash
Okay.
to go 80 feet.
Okay. And are you cutting through the swamp or you're running around the island?
Would it be faster to go through the swamp? 5, 10.
Each bit of difficult terrain.
Oh yeah, I can't make it. I'm gonna go around the island.
Okay. So as you go towards the tree,
Okay.
you hear the voice in your head going, "You could have had it all. But it's too late for you now." And as you get here, you see shimmers, 4 of them around you.
This bitch.
Is the ring an evil Adele? You're singing in your
I was
in
thinking
your
the
brain.
same thing.
It's too late to apologize. Oh shit. So instead of using my action to dash, I'll probably use it to disengage.
All right.
Flaming
Uh,
sphere time.
Yeah, does everybody's stuff go off?
Nobody can see them right now. They are not close enough.
Oh, they're
And they are
invisible.
still just shimmering to you.
Oh, creepy.
You only see them because you are so close to them.
Okay, so step 1, bonus action, disengage. Step 2, shout. Enemies here, just ahead of me. Step 3, step back
Okay. So
to
Miseki
where I was.
shouts about enemies ahead, but none of you see anything.
And then step 4 is to shoot where I saw one of the shimmery things.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
I'm guessing that's going to be the 7. Yeah, it's a 7.
All right, that will miss.
Cool.
The voice in your head goes, "So, what will it be?"
You are a terrible negotiator, and asking me questions like this while my life is threatened is not a good plan to make a deal.
Who are you talking to?
Ore, it is your turn.
None of your damn business.
So we hear them say this, but we still can't quite see them. But he did say they're right in front of him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he backed up and shot horribly at that area.
Okay, I'll try and close the distance. I can only go half my distance in the water. Let's
Yeah.
see.
So you'd be able to move 3 squares unless you want to double move.
No, that's pretty good. And then I'm, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-ish in range. I'm gonna produce flame and throw flame into the direction that he shot at and kind of backed away from.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll with disadvantage.
With disadvantage, double 14s. That's fun. So 21.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
That is 5 damage.
Okay. So as you throw your produce flame, not expecting it to hit anything because you can't see anything, you see for a brief moment fire outline what is clearly a gnoll as it quickly burns away.
Does that trigger the bonus or the saved actions of seeing it?
Yeah, those that had saved actions can see that. So that's going to be the firebolt to
Okay.
trigger. And
The flaming sphere.
flaming sphere. I was like, what did Stefan prepare? I forgot.
And I still have my bonus action, so I can starry form and then hit this guy with the archer bolt.
Right. So go ahead and Satsi, go ahead and do your firebolt, and Stefan, go ahead and do your flaming sphere.
All right, he's gonna do it right in the middle where those 3 are.
Okay.
I don't know how to make a new thing actually to denote the sphere, but it should
Am
be
I-
in the middle of those 3.
Are we at disadvantage? Those of us who have prepped.
Yes, you're at disadvantage. This is your flaming sphere. Boom. Right
Joke's
there.
on you. Flaming sphere is a save.
I made a circle.
Ugh. I got a 6, so 12.
12. That'll miss.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I have to like ram it into someone, right? To make them take damage. Can you like
Yeah, it's
can you cast
that
it on something?
it's that or they end their turn next to it. For
Is it
flaming
end or
sphere.
start?
It's end.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm gonna ram it into the one on the western edge of it then.
Can you do that when you
I don't think it's D6, right?
initially summon it?
I don't believe so now. When you first summon it, it just shows up
Yeah.
because that's an
Okay.
action, and
Never
then you
mind.
have to use a bonus action separately to slam.
Yep. So you just summon a flaming sphere next to them.
Roger.
Alright, so you can go ahead and take your bonus action.
Turn into the starry form, and I shoot at him for 17.
Disadvantage still.
Sorry about that. 17.
Okay. 17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And that is 12 damage of radiant.
Okay. Alright. Anything else, Ore?
See, that was my move action and bonus action. I'm good.
Okay, Stefan, it is your turn.
All right, this whole swamp is difficult terrain.
Yes.
I don't like being slow and having difficult terrain. It makes me less sad. Can I trade? No, it's fine.
If you ask Ito, he can probably carry you.
Oh, can I jump on Ito? Yeah. I want to do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get a piggyback ride from Ito. So I'm gonna run over to him and I'm gonna jump and just tell
Is
him
he
that
getting-
I'm hitching a
Is
ride.
he getting any warning before the jump?
Yes.
Has he seen Lord of the Rings?
Okay, cool.
Yes, he is.
I cannot jump the
So-
distance.
Stefan is going to cast. You know what? I think he's going to hold his action again.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and bonus action bump the flaming sphere into the westmost knoll.
Okay.
So it needs to make a dex save DC 15 or take 2d6 fire damage.
Okay. So you're just randomly moving it to the west then, because the only one you have seen is the one to the north.
Oh, my bad. Then I'll ram into that one. Yeah,
Okay.
the one on the north.
All right. It will go ahead and make its save. What's the DC?
15.
15, and it's dexterity.
Yes.
All right. He gets a 20.
Lame. He takes half as much on a successful save. So let me roll. He will be taking 3 damage,
Okay.
or half of 7 if you roll up, but no one does.
Yeah. No. The official 5e rule is round down. So.
Take that, 3 damage, full. Then I'm gonna jump on Ito's back, and I am going to cast Arm of Agathis with my action. So now there is a very frozen dwarf on your back, and then I'll be done.
Okay. So, Ito, you will move at half speed, carrying the dwarf on your back, and then it's difficult terrain, so you're going to move at quarter speed through here. So, but it is your
Lovely.
turn. So,
So,
You can
I
also
think I'm
just
gonna
drop
take a
me.
dash action.
yep. You could take the dash action and move 3 squares with 7 on your back.
I'm almost wondering if I can just chuck him at the gnolls, but I think
How much?
instead. Pardon?
I was gonna say, how much can you throw?
With a 19 strength, probably a good bit.
I probably weigh about 200 pounds with all my stuff.
Maybe not that much. So I think Ito then is just going to, yeah, he's just going to dash the 3 spaces and
You could put me down in front of you. That way, next time you don't have to worry about anything. You could also just drop me. You could just be like, nope, and then Stefan just falls in the muck.
he's going to carry him that far, though he is going to have a comment about the sudden cold hands on his neck.
Cold.
You guys are basically
Yeah,
dating now.
basically.
You could drop him in front of you as well, and then that way you're just free to
I think
go.
I think he would be more likely to drop him to the side, actually. But yes,
Alrighty.
You're gonna carry him all that way and then drop him in the mud. You gotta
yes.
commit, man. You gotta
Or
commit.
or no, he'll drop him like right there in that space right behind Mizeki. Just because Ito's the tank, he's not gonna drop someone in front of him and then end his turn.
True.
Oh, okay. Sadzi, it is your turn.
Okay. So I haven't actually seen any of the gnolls. I've seen Mizeki and people shoot in that general direction, right?
You saw the outline of one when it got caught by the produce flame.
Okay.
And that was the one you shot at with your firebolt and missed.
Can I create bonfire in that square?
Yeah.
Then I'd like to do that.
Okay. And is that an attack roll or a save that they need to make?
I think it's a save. It says Dex 14.
Dex 14? Okay.
Yeah.
13. So he will fail that save. How much damage does he take?
A whopping 3.
3. All right. So you see as this gnoll becomes visible entirely, as he is just completely immolated as this bonfire starts underneath him. Leave it to Sadzi to get the kill, as always.
What? I like a good barbecue.
All right. So, It is now the Gnoll's turn. They are going to run up. As they get here, Mizeki, you see the shimmer of them as they get up next to you.
So he's just gonna shit.
And Sefin,
There's more.
you can see them now as well as they get up next to Mizeki.
Get behind me.
And Ito is precisely one tile back from being able to use interception this turn.
All right, so the first one is going to attack you with his bite. That is a 21.
Are you attacking me?
Yes, Mizeki.
Yeah, that hits.
All
I have
right.
a 14 AC, so
Okay, you'll take 3 piercing damage, and then he's going to strike you with both of his short swords that he has. So the first attack is a 20, and the second is an 8.
first hits, the second doesn't.
All right, you'll take 3 piercing damage from the short sword that hits. The second one is going to do the same thing, bite slash slash.
Oh no,
So that's an 11 with the bite,
that misses.
22 with the first short sword, and
Wow.
11 with the second.
Okay, so only the first short sword.
All right, and then you'll take 4 piercing damage.
I am officially at half.
And then
Oh no, he's grievously wounded.
Previously wounded.
the third one is going to repeat the same process, bite slash slash. So that's a 17, a 22, and then a
And
9.
2
And
hit.
they hate you.
All right, so that is 6 piercing damage from the bite.
I am down.
Okay, then you take 2 death saves as he stabs you with his short sword.
I am dying.
And you hear the voice in your head just as you go out, and he goes, "You could have been them. You could have been winning." Just as you
Strongly
black
considering
out.
chopping off my hand. Cool.
All right, and it is now Alondiel's turn.
I saw the horseman go down.
Yep.
No! It is not your time! I run forth, my 3 squares in the muddiest water, my feet going in the mud, and I lay my hands. I say, "Not today!" And I cast Cure Wounds, is a 2nd level spell slot, so you will heal. If you're at 0, it'll do full heal, so that'll be 19 hit points.
I am fully healed.
It's a miracle.
Praise be.
In 1 round, you went from fully healed to dying to fully healed.
You were 1 death saving throw away from being dead.
Rise, Mazeki! Your time is not yet. The goddesses do not call you home.
When Elondiel uses his magic like that, does his like personality and inflection change? Like that we can tell, or in character is he just kind of like the same?
Oh, he gets super intense when he's bringing people back.
He
Nice.
goes from California to like Montana offended.
Oh no, see, I thought he went to like, Baptist tent revival preacher.
That's stage 2.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, Cure Wounds did the trick so far. I didn't have to other revivify or anything him.
Yeah,
Then
we're
it
not
gets even more
demons.
intense.
Be gone, foul demon.
All right. Mizeki, it is your turn.
All right, so step 1, stand up. Step 2, disengage and move. So standing up takes me half my movement, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so I have another 20 feet I can go. Are these guys only
Why are you
visible when I'm
running
close?
that way?
Yeah. They are only
I'm-
visible when you're
Okay, they're
close.
only visible when we're close. Never mind then. I'm gonna go this way.
No, run. Seriously, do what you were gonna do.
Okay. Hold on. Let me flip a coin.
Run into the safety of the group. Run around the invisible dudes who will stab you.
I'm here.
All
I'm
right.
going to I'm gonna shoot at a dude.
Okay, so as
Does
you go to shoot, the voice goes, I can save you. I can help you. Do we have a deal? My power for your life.
You really need to define life better. Do you mean like all my life, my soul? What are we talking here?
You survived this encounter.
At this rate, I'm set to survive this encounter without you, so that's not a very good negotiation because you're just putting your hand on the scale.
You think. But do you even know how many there are?
Do you?
I do.
Mizeki's heavily considering. Let's roll a die. Or here's this is a better thing. We'll do a wisdom save. 17. So Mizeki's leaning towards this is a dumb deal. He's probably going to say, I can promise to negotiate with you after this, but this is a horrible deal. And if I were to accept it, I probably wouldn't be someone you'd want to have your life donated anyway.
All right. Go ahead and fire.
Just standard or disadvantage or
Disadvantage.
okay, it's probably an 11. Yep, 11.
Okay. So as you shoot, your crossbow goes true towards the area where it is, and then it just stops in the middle of the air, and then the bolt flips around to point back towards you, and you hear the voice go, I control the wind.
Fair? Fine, but we'll negotiate exactly what that means. Since clearly you can kill me if you want to, it's not really a fair trade, but sure. It's just like a dude coming to your house and being like, I'll set your house on fire unless you give me all of your savings. And he's already set your house on fire.
You're the one that put on the cursed ring.
Sure, but hey, making bad decisions is an important part of being a rogue.
Ore, it is your turn. And you all see this bolt just kind of floating in mid-air that has been turned to face Mizeki.
Steal it with my
I'm going to do the thing that I should have done at the beginning, and I'm going to cast Fairy Fire at the spot just in front of where Mizeki was dropped to the ground. So that top Gnoll spot.
What's the DC?
Dex of 15.
Okay, so the first one gets a 15, the second one gets a 21, and the third one gets a 14. So one of them gets lit up in an outline. So this one here next to Sephin is now outlined.
Well,
and
better than them all winning it.
What color is your fairy fire?
My fairy fire is a very kind of a yellowish starlight looking sparkle that is it's like there's a bunch of stars in the air right in front of these guys. One
You
clinging.
burst a glitter bomb.
I burst a glitter bomb on these guys, absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
Disco time.
All right. So anything else? Bonus actions? Anything?
Yeah, I'm going to do my bonus action archery shot at the dude standing there that we can now see.
Okay. So just a normal attack.
Yeah, that'll be a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
For 10 points of radiant damage.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to try and move a little bit further south.
Okay. So yeah, each space of the swamp is difficult terrain. So, all right, and then Sephin. So you can now very clearly see one as it is now outlined in stars.
All right. Sephin is going to yell to Mizeki to get behind the flaming sphere.
Then he is going to step up, turn into a bear, and start mauling things.
Okay.
Do you want to move
And
the sphere forward?
no, I could
Oh
do
yeah,
that,
you
but I want
shift
to
it
become
as
a
your
bear.
bonus. Yeah. There.
So he will become the bear and then try and maul the one that is all starified. I get advantage against it, right?
Does Fairy Fire grant advantage? Well, that would cancel out its disadvantage.
I believe
It doesn't
Fairy
benefit from
Fire.
invisibility
Yeah, it both doesn't benefit from invisibility and grants
and
advantage.
grants advantage. Yeah, so it
Because
really
it's
wrecked
highlighted.
invisible
It's
Yeah.
things.
yeah. He's lit up, kind of like a guiding bolt.
Okay.
All right, so here is the claw on that one. And it is a rolling 19 plus 6 for 25. I assume that hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And the damage will be 5 plus 4, so 9.
9. Okay.
Oh, I forgot to roll with advantage too. Let's see if we get a crit just for fun. Hey, we don't.
Okay.
All right, is it still up?
Yes.
All right, so then he will use the bite. And that is going to be a. Why did it select the 2 for me? It rolled a 2 and a 10, and it was like 2. All right, so the 10 plus 6 is 16. Does that hit?
16. 16 does hit.
All right.
And it didn't select either. It added them together because you didn't roll it. You rolled 2 together instead of rolling with
Got it.
advantage.
Oh, 1 plus 4 is 5.
All right. So you maul him, and you all see this star figure just collapse in the jaws of the bear.
And then Seth will have some more movement, so he's gonna move around and try and flank the gnolls and get himself in between them and Mizeki. He'll take an opportunity attack from the southern one.
Right, yeah, you can see them shimmering as you are right next to them.
Yeah, so he's just gonna move behind them to try and protect Mizeki, but he's going up and around because he
Okay.
can't go through this one. So Fleshnar 1 gets the opportunity attack against him.
12.
Is gonna miss with mage armor.
Okay. All right.
And I'm done.
Ito. So you currently cannot see anything.
Okay, so he's just gonna start like charging. He saw Sefin just kind of awkwardly run around what seems to him to be empty space. So he's just gonna kind of figure there's probably something there, and start running at it.
Okay. So yeah, as you move up the 10 feet, you get next, and you see that there are 2 creatures just kind of shimmering like Mizeki was earlier.
Okay, and as soon as he gets there, he's going to attack the one that's in between him and Sefin. So, do we count as flanking?
Yes, so you do not have disadvantage.
Cool. That'll be a 19 plus 6, 25.
25 will hit.
What are you swinging at?
And then that'll be a 6 plus 4, 10 damage.
Okay.
And
I did that damage to the wrong one. Whoops.
I wish I could roll well.
the Shield Master shove does not have to be on the same target I just hit, right?
Um, what does it say?
It just says if you make an attack action, you can use a bonus action to shove with your shield.
Yeah, just have a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield. Yep.
Cool. So the southern one, I'm gonna try to like shove prone. Just kind of like shoving the other one out of the way since we've got this one flanked.
Okay. So you're going to use a bonus action shove. So go ahead and make an athletics check.
9 plus 6, 15.
Okay, that does not beat his 21. So you do not
Whew,
shove him.
okay.
These gnolls are beefy.
They're clearly cheating.
So, all right, Ito. That's move, attack, bonus. So that's it. So Sadzi.
Okay. So I mean, obviously, I can see that Ito tried to shove something. Can I cast Firebolt? To the square that has the southern knoll.
Yeah. So you'll roll with disadvantage because you can't see anything there.
Okay. Well, I got a 12.
A 12 will
Altogether.
miss.
Well, fudge. I'm gonna move around the back of the bush, just so that I can get a bit clearer shot.
Okay. All right. It is the Knoll's turn. And they are going to fight one on the bear and one on the human that are up next to them. So let's go after the bear first. So first, bite slash slash. So the bite is a 13.
13's my AC right now.
Okay.
It's gonna take 10 damage. Boom! Get wrecked. Arma Bagathis.
All right. You'll take 4 piercing damage.
Nice.
Okay. And then slash is a 5. And then second slash is an 18.
Hits.
All right, and you'll take 3 piercing damage from that.
And it takes 10 more.
Okay. And so it freezes to death from that.
Steph is gonna rear up on 2 legs and just try and look very menacing. And he still has his armor Bagathis up.
All right, and the second one is going to attack the human. That's a 7 to bite. And then a 19 on the first slash, and a critical on the second slash. Does
Yeah,
the
the
19
19 and the crit both hit.
Okay, so from the 19, you'll take 3 piercing damage. And from the crit, you will take 8 piercing damage.
Do the Gnoll bodies become visible when they die?
No.
Nope. Okay. So I just see a bear seeming to struggle with something in the air, with like a roar of victory.
Well, and it explodes several times.
So oddly enough, all 3 of them that have died with something that will cause you to see them, because there is the one that got immolated, the one that is still lit up by fairy fire, and now you see just this big old block of ice, all in the form of gnolls.
What? These
So-
lands are crazy.
Yeah, so oddly enough, I guess they all did become visible. Yeah. All right. Alondia, it's your turn.
And the one with fairy fire still alive?
Nope.
Nope. Oh, that one died. Okay. Well, I can't see anything. I'm gonna step up to see what's going on. What's going on?
All right. So.
And I'm not gonna step where the ice block is. I'm just gonna look at it and be like, what?
So you can see faint shimmers on the other side of the ice from where you are.
Sacred flame. Can I?
All right. Is that a
Oh,
save
yeah.
or
It's
it's an
a
attack with
save.
disadvantage? Okay. So
It's a save and it completely ignores all being hidden stuff.
well, if it hits. So what's the DC?
13.
And it's wisdom?
Dex.
Dex. Okay, they're good at that. But that's only a 9.
Perfect.
Wait, because normally being completely hidden, doesn't it give you a bonus?
2 radiant damage.
Okay. All right. 2 radiant damage. Okay. Anything else?
Nope. And I'll kick the frozen ice block Gnoll,
All right.
assuming it's the one that stabbed Mazeki and downed him.
Okay. Mazeki, it is your turn. That bolt is still floating in the air and is just over the top of the bear.
I'm gonna try lying. Step one. I want to roll a deception to say, fine, I agree, but we need to talk about this later.
Okay. Go ahead and make your deception.
27.
Okay.
Does anything change?
The voice in your head goes, very well. And you see the bolt drop to the ground, and the Gnoll becomes completely visible along with the three.
I'm gonna shoot the shit out of him.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
21.
21. Go ahead and roll your damage and add an additional d6.
1 sec. I'm also rolling a lot of things. Okay, so 7 to 6. So 15.
15. So you shoot your crossbow, and it goes much faster than your crossbow has ever gone before. And he goes, see what we can do together. So that's 19 damage total, or 15 damage. So, okay.
That was with the extra d6, so yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm going to hide and move forward a bit, see if I can see anyone else coming, I
Okay.
guess.
All right. So that is your turn. So, Ore, you can now
So
see a Gnoll.
okay, so he is visible to me then. Okay.
Yes.
I am gonna throw produce flame at him. And that is a dirty 20.
Okay, that hits.
Boo, for 2 fire damage.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do just another Starry Archer attack on him.
Okay.
That is a 15.
15 will hit.
And he's gonna take 8 damage radiant.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
The moment I see him, I produce flame in one hand and I throw it, and it does a mediocre little bit of damage. And then I take that archer shape and I discharge the archer blast, and I'm going right for the jowls, right below the right in his throat.
Okay. So, as the last Gnoll falls to the ground, Mazeki, you hear in your head, and he goes, so, time to talk.
Okay.
I can make your life better or worse. Your choice.
That's pretty clear. We should probably continue to pretend this isn't an issue. And as he says that, he's going to move over and start like helping loot the corpses and get them drug into the swampland.
Okay. So 2 of them are lootable. The other 2 are not in conditions to be looted. One being emulated, the other one being a frozen block of ice. But off of the other 2, you get a total of 25 silver pieces.
Nice.
While looting them, can I see if I can figure out how they were doing that shimmer camouflage, if there's any kind of items that may have been inducing that for them.
So looking around on their bodies, you don't see anything that would give them any kind of abilities like that.
Could would I know what could grant them that ability, either through nature or arcane means?
Go ahead and make an Arcana check with disadvantage. This isn't something you've seen before.
I didn't do it with disadvantage, but let me roll that. Disadvantage is 11.
Okay. So you don't know of anything particular that can cause this effect, but it has to be something powerful.
Kind of like some sort of a divine blessing that they would have used.
Possibly.
Okay. I shatter the one in the block of ice to loot that one.
Okay. So you shatter him completely.
Cool.
There is no body left at that point.
Cool. Like Victor Freeze.
Chill out. Yeah, that was not the intent I anticipated when I was breaking him out of the ice. And then I very discreetly like sweep him with the bottom of my foot into the water.
Okay.
How much silver was it?
25.
If no one immediately grabs it, I'm gonna collect it because I spent a bunch of money on my stuff.
I'm going to stare at you.
Spells are expensive, okay? This pouch thing, not cheap.
Yeah, well, so is
should-
apparently not trying to get you in trouble.
I could have told you that.
Would you be capable of using an arcane focus?
What now?
Um, Usually some sort of artifact that can be used in place of most spell components to cast a spell.
Never heard of it. Don't think so.
We may need to look into that for you.
Yeah, probably, especially if it's cheaper.
Well, it's a hell of a lot more convenient.
Yeah, but I've got this pouch. I can stick stuff in it. Look at it. It's got fur. It's got wires. It's got some sand. They're all labeled too. It makes it really easy.
Ore will take the astrolabe out of its holster in his shoulder and kind of hold it up. I use this, and then I kind of hold it into the sky, and I discharge like a guidance just into the sky.
Just discharge a guidance.
Just discharge, just to kind of produce a metal effect, because I have
I
nothing
believe in
else
you,
to
Sky.
really. Just a puff of stars just appears and just disappears really quickly.
Zeki will copy the puff of stars with prestidigitation. Oh, I can do that. That's fine. Most of the stuff I think I don't even need this bag. So, we gonna keep going? That was weird.
Yeah, you almost died.
That, yeah. I'm gonna not sneak ahead. This seems like a bad place to do it. You know, the swamp, the mud, and all, it makes it hard.
Does anyone have an idea why that bolt just hovered in the air before it descended to the ground? Looking dead-eye at Mazeki.
Yeah, Ito is also looking at Mazeki at this point because he noticed that the shimmering they were doing looked quite a bit like the shimmering he was doing until they showed up.
Guys, like, he just went down. Give the man some time to recover. He was almost dead after all.
I'm sure.
Are you sure? It looked like he was only grievously wounded.
we should really get going if we want to make it back in time for that telescope thing, right?
Hey, are any of these Gnoll faces the fancy ones that you've seen before while you were in captivity, Ito?
Does Ito recognize any of these as the leaders? I
Uh,
assume no, since the voices weren't them.
yeah, the voices weren't them. The faces do not look like them, but two of them aren't recognizable anymore at all, given their condition. So,
One of them is shattered little ice bits on the floor.
and the other
And
one's
one's a
Well,
liar.
yep.
the voices weren't the leaders, but I mean, two of these I can't really tell anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
magic's terrifying. You guys are
yes,
creepy.
I'm quite content to just use a spear and a shield, actually.
Seth turns to talk to Mizeki, and what he wants to say is, Mizeki, we need to have a chat. And what comes out is, because he's still a bear.
Can I incite that the bear wants to have a chat?
Uh, I mean, it's kind of obvious that the bear wants to have a chat. You just don't know
Fair.
what it's
I'll
about.
go over and pat the bear on his shoulder and go, "Yes, yes, friend, of course."
Am I
Bear
allowed
will
to?
look you right in the eye and then just shake its head and start plodding along.
Am I allowed to roll perception in case I can perhaps see through this screen of
That
obfuscation that Muzeki's trying to erect?
that would probably be insight.
Yeah, that's going to be more of an insight check. But yes, you may absolutely roll insight against Mizeki.
Yeah, I think
Excuse me.
Ito would be pulling
I
some of
got
that as
a
well.
2, so that's a 7.
I am beyond reproach.
11 plus 3, 14.
Yeah, you guys don't know what's going on with Mizeki. He seems a little odd, but you've only known him for a couple months.
To be fair, Ito's only known me for like 2 days, and most of that he was asleep.
Yeah,
7 with the nat 1.
as a bear.
So the only person that's suspicious of me so far, let's hope. Oh damn, Elendil might be. So the dude we met. Okay, only people we've met randomly have been suspicious of me so far. Or we stop it. This is unfair.
It's normal for people to be weird after like near-death experiences. If you want to take some time, we can talk about it. I've done some like counseling on the sides in my early days of the temple services. Just let me know if you'd like to talk more. I'm always here for you.
Probably worth it, but we should get going, right? We're wasting daylight.
All right. You continue on your way through the swamp with the slight detour of fighting against these gnolls. Takes you a little while longer, and you eventually reach the fortress that you assaulted the day before. It hasn't changed. It doesn't seem like anybody has been here since you left.
Uh, can we look for like tracks or something to see if we know where they may have been coming and going?
So you can see tracks clearly lead up to the front door, but given that there is just the small area of mud and dry ground right before the door, and the rest is water, there's no way to follow the tracks beyond that.
Hmm.
Do the tracks look fairly fresh? Like, is there water pooling in them? Yes, no. Other
Mm,
tracks across it?
The most fresh tracks are yours leaving from when you left yesterday.
Anybody home?
So looks like maybe they're not back yet, and there's no obvious way to indicate where others might be. And I don't know if it's worth wandering around the swamp at random.
Seth will revert back to dwarven form. Um, and suggest that we take a look around inside, stop for lunch, chat, and make a plan. Also, mechanically take a short rest.
Ito is probably gonna use his second wind just at the end of that combat. I just forgot to mention it.
Okay. All right. So going in, looking around, nothing has changed. The bodies are still where they were when you left them.
Ooh, and we're in a swamp, so they're smelly.
They were smelly before.
Fair.
In the room that had the animated armor, there were 3 other sets of armor or suits of armor stood up. Were they like usable armor, or was it all just decoration?
It is all decoration.
Gotcha.
You can poke it to find out. I'm not gonna. Last one tried to run me through.
I'm sure with the activity that the rest of us conducted in that room, if any of them were animated, they would have potentially activated.
That's what they want you to think.
While we're
Ah,
here,
I
can we
s-
check out the portal again and get the rest of the books?
Yeah, so you would have already cleared out all of the books, but you can definitely check out the portal again. What are you specifically looking for? So it looks like it's just a stone archway.
Yeah, he's just gonna do another search, just trying to see.
Yeah.
First
just a quick
off,
check.
I think Elandiel already made a sketch, but let's make another sketch, and then just try to see if he can figure anything out.
Okay.
Maybe do another Arcana check.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Mizeki will struggle his way up onto the tower and look around again and see if he can see any other indications of like trails or anything or locations of where other people might have gone.
Okay.
That is a 17 Arcana check.
So you can't identify anything more about this portal.
Alrighty.
Are there any loose stones that I could use to kind of brick up the center of the portal circle?
There are no loose stones on the portal.
No, in the facility. Like, could I gather up some, like, not necessarily loose bricks, but stones that may work in place of bricks, or if there are bricks,
There was a whole junk
to
room that you guys never really looked in. You just kind of peeked in there and noticed it was a bunch of trash.
Oray's going to look around. So if he comes across that junk room, he'll start investigating that junk room for anything that could be used to fill the cavity in the center of that portal arch.
Okay.
The
Uh,
desk.
Mizeki, you climb up on the tower and look around. There isn't anything else within your vision from up here on the tower that you can see. No clear trails or anything.
Cool. So he's going to take this moment to talk to himself a little bit and just be like, so when you say life, what do you mean?
Yes. Everything you do will be done for me. I will own you. And in return, you will have some of my power.
That doesn't sound like a very good deal. What do you want done? Like, how am I supposed to help you do things when you can clearly kill me if you want to?
I don't want to be trapped in this ring anymore.
I mean, is that like breaking the ring or just carrying you around a bunch? What's the end goal there as far as undoing the trapping thing?
You'll have to break the spell that entraps me. Destroying the ring will not work. The ring cannot be destroyed.
Sorry, Rego with the volcano comment. Fair enough. Um, I guess all right, given I don't appear to actually have much choice.
Indeed, you don't.
Okay, fun. You do understand that if you continue to be extremely obvious, the others will harm me, and then by extension prevent you from being freed, right?
Hmm. There are plenty of those dumb enough to put me on. You are not the first, but you are different.
I am both upset and flattered.
You see, normally I'm in control immediately, yet you still have your own will.
Well, you know what they say. A willing subject is far better than an unwilling puppet.
Yes, there's something about you, something special. I do not know yet what it is, but it
I
prevents me from taking the full control I want.
Well, I am beautiful and faithful to my goddess, who likely has her hand on the scale a bit. All right then, shall we? And he's gonna start his way back down the stairs, frowning at the swamp forest of not helpfulness.
All ritual cast detect magic down in the portal room.
Okay. Um, so other than the equipment that you have brought that's magical, the only thing that you notice magical is the portal itself.
So by the time he gets down, since that ritual casting takes 10 minutes and he was only up there for a couple minutes, he'll just basically say, no other obvious trails or any other paths they have took. I think this might be a dead end.
I want to figure out what school of magic the portal was.
It is conjuration.
Okay.
Let's clean this place up a bit, maybe? Toss the corpses to the ooze? Worst case, if we plan to keep coming back here every so often, I'd rather not it smell so bad.
I'll
And
tell.
Ori is going through a closet.
I'll let Stefan know that from my casting, what I was able to derive is that the portal, the doorway arch seems to be conjuration in its school of casting.
We should put a box, like a bunch of boxes around it,
That's what Ore is trying to do.
and
He's
the desk through it. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Someone
all
comes through and they're just like, what the hell?
right. So Ore, in the closet full of broken boxes and ceramics and just kind of junk, you find a few bits of stone and things like that. But in addition, you find a single emerald about the size of your palm.
This is very pretty. And I put it in my bag.
Just put it in your palm. Replace your hand with it.
So detect magic has a 10-minute duration.
Mm-hmm.
So at any point do I see Mazeki, the ring on Mazeki's finger in that?
Yeah, you guys already knew that was magic,
Okay,
having it identified.
We
that's
got
right.
it identified and they told us about it. There's a great
Okay.
evil inside of it.
That's right.
It's fine.
Do I get? Do
Yeah, and then
this
Mizeki
was
was
my
like,
first,
I'm gonna
this
put it
is
on.
my first time taking a look at it with my magical vision up. What school of magic
Uh,
do I
He's
get
gonna
off it?
put it away. Like he's gonna put his hand in his pocket.
You can see me staring, and you're like, pocket.
Excuse me?
Technically, as
Can I
soon as
help
he
you?
sees it, he knows the school of magic.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so you see it. It is, I believe that's transmutation. Let me
Does
double
does
check that.
Elandiel have anything obvious on him that I would want to steal to annoy him?
This is another good
Oh,
question. When you're casting detect magic, is it obvious to others that you can detect magic? Because he cast it in a different room, so you might just think he's creeping on your ring.
Yeah, that's all reason for him to want to hide it, though, still.
Yeah, he's just like creepily staring at me.
Nothing in the spell says it is
Yeah.
noticeable to people looking at me.
Yeah.
And it has a
I've-
verbal and somatic, but no indication that it like lights up his eyes or anything. So no, we wouldn't.
Plus,
I
wouldn't
wouldn't.
Mizeki be flattered? Elendil is looking at him.
Intently staring at my hands? No.
But, I mean, also putting it in his pocket has no effect on the detect magic spell. So, Alandiel can
Miseki's not
still
a
see it.
mage. Miseki's not a mage.
What are you talking about, Miseki? You just bought a spell pouch.
He's not a mage.
You just turned invisible. You got all kind of magic going on. All your clothes are fluttering.
That stopped.
I am a wizard.
I just want to make sure you're okay. I mean, like I said before, coming back from near-death experiences can be fairly traumatic, especially when it's invisible gnolls stabbing you. Apparently, uh, just want to make sure you're doing okay.
Yeah, whatever makes them invisible is wild. We should definitely be careful.
I 100% agree. That was absurd and one of the craziest things I've ever encountered.
While they're having this conversation, Ore is stacking the stones in the center of that portal.
Okay.
Mizeki will help with his mage hand, using it to move things that weigh 10 pounds or less, while cleaning himself with prestidigitation.
Ito will also help stack stones if there's room.
All right. So you all begin playing Jenga.
I think our goal is we want to make like sort of a cave area, but with like the desk and boxes in the middle. So if someone appears, they have a large chance to like have stuff fall on them.
Right.
Ore's intention is to just try and prevent the
Just shove
portal
as
from
many things as you
opening
can.
by
Nice.
having something in the middle to not open it up.
You could try breaking it.
Didn't we try breaking it last time?
Nope.
No, Ito tried turning it.
As soon as someone suggests breaking it, Mizeki's like, I'm gonna wait out in the hall. That sounds like an awful idea.
Ore says, if everyone would stand back, I'm going to try something.
Ito steps about 5 feet back.
Back
Still
into the
definitely
hallway
within
with the big
within
people in front of him.
Ito is
Sta-
definitely still within danger zone if this is a danger.
Ore standing directly in front of it casts Thunderwave.
Okay.
Ito is within the thunder wave.
Well, Thunderwave's directional, so
Yeah,
he'd
it's the
be
box
aiming
in
it.
front of you.
Oh, right. I
Yeah.
always forget which one it is.
So the effect of the Thunderwave is all of the stuff that you just stacked in the middle of it goes
Flies around
flying
the room.
out of it and hits the wall behind it, shattering
no
into
damage at
smaller
all.
pieces, but no damage to the portal itself.
Huh.
I applaud sarcastically from the side.
Ore will start picking up the smaller pieces and trying to reach them back into place.
I was thinking more along the line of hammers.
We had one that someone just sold.
Don't we have a sledgehammer?
There was a battle hammer in the other room that the end of last session we sold it to the armorer.
Yeah, but battle hammers and sledgehammers are very different things.
True. I don't
Ito's
have a sledgehammer.
now is the gate like one solid piece of stone or multiple stones put together?
It is a solid stone archway. It appears as if it was carved to be such that.
Oh, I have a regular hammer. I have a hammer and piton set. We can just slam a couple pitons into it, and then a line, and that'll either crack it or break it.
We could check the forge in the other room and see if there's any tools in there that would be usable to break this down.
I guess we'll start with the hammer and piton set and send someone to check the forge, see if there's anything else.
Okay.
Our goal is just to kind of crack the ring,
All right.
if not break it.
So it doesn't take you very long with your hammer and pittance to break through the stone and crack it, and the archway
Awesome.
collapses in on itself.
Perfect. All right, let's leave. We've spent enough time in this place and it smells.
All right. And Mazeki, you decided you wanted to feed all the bodies to the ooze.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Once Seth hears wind of this plan, he is definitely going to try and intervene because he's not down with that.
They're already dead. What do you want us to do? Bury them in the swamp? Would that really be better?
Why not leave them here?
Because then if we ever come back, they'll be here and very smelly.
I could set them on fire for you.
He's just going to face palm and walk out. Let you guys do whatever you're going to do.
We're feeding them to the ooze.
all right. You feed them to the ooze.
And then we'll go home.
You're going home.
All the way home.
Okay.
Do we want to
all,
leave a
all
note?
the way back to the mainland.
All the way back to Umberwall on an entirely different continent.
We will
Well-
leave them a note that says, "Get wrecked, Knowles."
And thank you for the campaign. Great running it. Nice knowing everybody. We all go and live out our lives and die of a nice old age.
Of 35.
Nice long lives.
So I think the goal here is we figured out there's nothing else here. Nobody came back, so I guess we're gonna head to the city and then maybe check out the Knowlands. It's our next really only other pointer we had, right?
They had the painting of the temple.
Yeah, but we don't know where it is, and we forgot to go check in with the people that make that temple, so they're back in the city too.
Yeah, I'm in favor of going back to the city real quick, checking in, getting a nice meal. If you haven't noticed, Seth very much enjoys a nice meal. And then setting out for the Knowlands. Are there any cities that we know of between what is that city we're just going back to? Actually, Bracknell
Mhm.
and Kiche?
Kuche? There are no major cities known about there. Most often travel between the two cities is done via the water. And so you just cross over the boat, but you can cross it by land. It's just very, very rocky terrain the entire time.
I guess that's a good question. Let's get to the city first and kind of look for any tracks or anything like that. But it sounds like we've pretty much explored, like Mizeki said. And then let's like plan in character in the city and go try and find the people with the temple picture as well.
Yes, Ito, you got a short rest.
Okay, thank you.
So at very least, we're going back to the city. We're not. We're gonna talk to the temple folks. It sounds like, and then possibly get a boat or be very sad and walk or ride a horse to the Knowlands.
All right.
Transition music.
So you guys make your way back to the city of Bracknell, taking a couple hours on the way home to get there. No troubles in the swamps as you make your way there. Every now and then, Mizeki's clothes begin to billow for a moment and then stop.
He seems to appreciate it if he's not actually trying to hide at the time.
Who has
Which
the
he isn't
sending
anymore.
stone right now? Is that Sephin?
Seth,
Sephin does
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So
The guy least to die.
as you are making your way back, Sephin, in the sending stone, you get the message from Zamza going, "What's the status in Kuche?
Oof.
Received report of Gnoll Base in swamp. We're grateful for what you've done. Please respond."
Seth will respond 1 second, coordinating with team. Oh shoot! No, I'm just kidding. He's not gonna do that.
we we got a name of the
The
person,
check is in the mail.
the traitor, right?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
sent the name last time.
You
How
did
close are we?
not. Oh
We
wait,
did
you
not.
sent you
Okay.
sent you did send Shadow's name.
Yeah.
Sorry, I always thought you meant the Gnoll leader names.
No.
How
Does Ito know
close?
those?
Yeah, nobody asked.
Shit.
Yeah, I think Seth is gonna wait to respond because it's not like a text message where it's like, oh, we have to respond right now because we only have one message a day. So like, let's eat lunch and talk this over, and then he'll send a message. We'll craft one, like write it out like we did last time, and then send it over.
It's like a work email. It's after 5. We don't have to send it until tomorrow.
Yeah, totally. That's how work works today.
We'll send it at 11:58 p.m. right before it flips over.
It flips over at
I always
dawn
love the
though.
random
Oh, that's right,
work,
Dawn. So we've got until 5 in the morning to send it.
the random work emails at 2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Hey, you have this done for tomorrow morning, right? Why are you up at 2 or 3 a.m. working? Anyway,
So I guess we'll poke Ito. Like, do you know anything useful we can send? And we don't really have a ton more than also we've dead end in the swamps, right? And we're going to Kuche.
We're going to Kuche now. We got Shadow's name, so we got some stuff done.
Yeah, we got information. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
useless. It just
We didn't waste time completely.
Ito would tell the others, the group calls themselves Shattered Dust. The Gnoll leaders, their names are Elto, Albed, and Egreg. Shadow pulled all the strings. The Gnolls are only in it for money and chaos. Oh, and one of those three Gnoll leaders, Egreg, was the smith who was running that forge there.
okay.
What were their names again? Egreg, and what were the other two?
Elto, Albed, and Egreg. I'll copy paste them into the chat for you.
So I'm thinking we start with the 3 words: Knowles, Shattered Dust, then the guys' names.
we probably need to say that they call themselves Shattered Dust, otherwise they'll
Sure.
get
Yeah.
confused. Knowles, Knoll Band call themselves Shattered Dust. Leaders are, and then like those three, cooperating with Shadow
Yeah. I was
for
just gonna call
coin.
them mercenaries.
Yeah,
Just put mercenary at the end.
mercenaries
Like,
of Shadow or something. I think they need to know that they're working with Shadow
yeah,
though.
yeah.
We have how many words? 25.
25 words.
If we wait for
So
5 a.m., we can do 2 in a row for 50.
so them and their names is only 11 words. So we've got 14 more. We definitely want to convey we're going to. I'm gonna put Swamp Dead End.
Yeah, we're at
Kuche?
11 right now. 11 words, so we still have 14. So yeah, we could just say, headed to Kuche. Will report later or something.
Now the purpose to Kuche was we're gonna track down Shattered Dust, or are we just going to try and inform the Knoll heads of state or whatever they are that there's essentially a terrorist group trying to give them a bad name?
We don't have a plan, Ori. So that's our plan now.
We're gonna do
Oh.
some
Yeah.
footwork, some old-fashioned investigation. Gonna talk to the people on the streets, get a feel of how they're doing, see how high up that angst against the tabaxi goes, and we'll report back on if we find any leadership involved or not.
Well, considering they tried to kill me last time I was in Kuche on Elendil, I think you can handle the investigative reporting on the street.
Yeah.
We can disguise you so that you just look like a person, a humanoid of some kind. Shouldn't be difficult given your cloak and whatnot you already wear. Have you ever stuffed your tail before?
It doesn't sound like something I would ever want to do.
It just goes up the back of your shirt. It's not really a big deal.
Perhaps a helm or a mask to.
Oh, a mask would be lovely.
You don't think wearing a mask would be like a dead giveaway of, ooh, look, suspicious person here?
I mean,
Not if it was part of the helmets. It's just better protection.
there's a difference between a combat mask and a ball mask, of course. We could get you like a leather cowl that comes down enough that it doesn't matter.
A nice full helm.
We're just gonna get her like a steel helm under her leather armor.
Were there any of those sets of decorative armor? Would any of those helmets have been usable and have a faceplate?
None of them would be usable.
Shoot, I
After a
was
couple of minutes of this discussion, Seth will be like, "I've got it," and he'll show you all the messages that he's crafted, written in Dwarven, so only Sadzi can read it.
I have 18 words. Would you use for the other 7? Or you're just
He
adding
will,
random things.
yeah, butterflies.
How are
And
you?
No, it is what he wrote. Gnolls call themselves Shadow Dust. Leaders are El, the 3 names. Mercenaries for Shadow. Northeast Swamp Dead End. Headed to Kuche. Will report back, which is like 20, just shy of 25 words.
Okay.
Looking forward to. Do we have enough for looking forward to hearing from you? That's 6 words.
A salutation. Best regards. That is
Regards.
our party's name.
Are we really hoping to hear from him, though? Because that might not be the best thing to say.
That's true. We're not looking forward to hearing from you.
All right.
We
so-
have 3 whole words left.
I liked the message how he had it.
All right, we're sending it.
Likely
And he'll
by
just
ship.
put, like,
Can we add that at the end? Likely by ship.
he just put our names at the end, just like dash the party.
Fair enough.
Okay. So what
The
all
party.
what exactly do you send then?
What I just read. It's the name of the Gnoll leaders, the
Okay.
fact that we're headed to Kuche, the northeast swamp fortress was a dead end, and that we'll report back soon.
Okay. So you get the immediate response back.
What cheater?
He can't do that until tomorrow.
No,
He's magical.
you can use sending, and sending allows them to respond immediately.
Holy shit!
Like that is
Oh yeah, it's sending both ways, isn't it?
right.
Each stone can do sending.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like when Stefan was like immediately respond, I'm like, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Like you can't delay your response without using up your thing. So the response comes back going, very well. Please report each day on your progress. We'll be back in Wilds in 1 month's time.
Seth will relay this message to the others.
We should look at the options for how long it will take to travel to Kuche either by boat or by land.
All
Should
right,
be faster
logistically,
than.
I didn't realize that he needed to send immediately. Otherwise, he would have just said something similar right away.
Oh, no, you did. You said your thing. Gotta communicate with the party. We'll send message soon. That's what you responded
Perfect.
back immediately.
Great.
So, yeah. So by boat to Kuche is going to take you about a week. And by land will take you about 2.
So we'll go by boat. We have our message ready to send at dawn. I guess that just says, "Hey, here's what we're doing today.
We will message at dawn.
Okay.
Look to the east."
So
I would probably hold the sending on the boat until like the end of the first day, just in case there's some emergency.
Fair. But regardless, we have like that long message of, because all we sent back was basically you need to consult with us. So we have a message
Yeah.
in case an emergency happens, and then we'll send the emergency message. But for now,
All right. So you guys want to go by boat then to Kuche?
Yes, but before
Affirmative.
we start going, we need to have a dinner scene with Mizeki because Sefin wants to talk about that ring. Because we knew it was a great evil, and then he just put it on, and he's been acting real weird since then.
has he really
Also,
been acting
did we
that
get
weird?
back before it was too late?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
are we back for the telescopes?
oh, it's plenty of time for the telescopes. It's not even dark yet. It doesn't get dark until like 8 in the evening. It's still middle of summer,
Ah,
or I guess
Cool.
summer's ending at this point. So
yeah, because I want to go to that. That sounds cool.
Ore wants to take a few minutes and kind of do the research of previous ages to see if Ito's calendar matches up to one of those ages.
okay.
You will have a week on a boat to figure that out as well.
I know, just wanted to put it out there.
All right. So go ahead and just make a general intelligence check for your study, and we'll see how easily you can identify it.
Well, that's a natural
Ito,
10.
Okay. So you know the ages pretty well, and the time doesn't match any of the ages specifically, but the number of years since the age of the folly of man is the year that Ito believes it is. And he calls it the fall.
Okay, so the year that the Age of Folly would have began,
Would have
per the
ended.
calendar, would have ended
Hmm.
with the year he considers it to be now.
Hmm. That is the
Okay,
number of years that has passed.
cool, cool. Good to know. Good to know.
He's off by about 3 years, though.
Okay.
All of your holidays are wrong, sir.
so yeah, basically it's just like I think the intent is like wherever your current calendar, the year it would say if the King's End had never happened and that age hadn't started. And you just continued on with the age since the folly.
Gotcha.
Trippy.
Yeah, if the Age of Kings had never ended, it would be that year in the Age of Kings.
Cool, 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 cool. Got it. Got it. Honestly, that is what I was suspecting, but thanks for the confirmation.
Okay. So, dinner scene. It sounds like you're wanting to have a nice long conversation with Mazeki. So have at
Yeah.
it.
We got to figure out how we're gonna get on the boat too. Just saying. Not an attempt to deflect our time at all.
Uh-huh.
Where did we go
We
for
just go
dinner? Did we
back
go
to
to
the
the same
docks, I
place?
think.
Did we go back to that really nice seafood place?
I don't believe it would be difficult to see your passage across the waterway to Kuche.
So I guess we should probably check that before we go eat, because it's not quite dinner time right yet.
Yeah, it's like lunch, probably. Because we left like right away, right? We ate breakfast. We went there, which is like a couple hours there, a couple hours back.
Yeah.
We're probably there for a couple hours. So it's like a 5 hour round trip.
Like 6 hours maybe. So it's like 2, 3 in the afternoon at the latest.
Yeah.
Let's go do those boats real quick. That's important.
Yeah, let's secure that passage.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. So you head up to the docks that you got off on 2 nights ago. And you head up to the dock worker. He is a orange tabaxi. Goes by the name of Edge.
Hello there, friend. We are looking to get passage to the wonderful Kuche.
Loved your work on Octun Baby.
Edge looks up from his clipboard and goes, going to Kuche. We have, looks down, flips through a couple papers. We have a boat leaving 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Perfect. And how many people can fit on this boat? And what is the cost?
Well, the boat is pretty well open. Are you stopping in Kuche or are you then going to the mainland up to Last Breath from there?
As much as I would prefer to return to Last Breath, we must stop in Kuche for business.
Very well. Well, then that'll be 1 week journey. That will be 1 gold each. And there is plenty of room on the ship currently.
Is it
Plenty of
possible?
room for all of us, Seth will say, and then, nod his head towards Mizeki, who is a horseman and requires a lot of space.
That's very rude. I'm medium sized.
You weigh like 700 pounds.
I weigh like,
Exactly, he's a pony boy.
yeah, I'm a pony boy. Pony man.
And Edge just kind of goes, yes. The size
is
of our
very-
guest is not that critical. He is not that large. If he were a
Excellent.
giant, then maybe we would have an issue.
Can I convince you to give us a slight discount if I let you know that we are on official council business and have recently helped the town of Bracknell?
You could bill it to the counselor.
That is a wonderful idea. I always forget that's available. We will do
This
that.
is dangerous. Giving Mizeki someone else's tab.
He goes, all right. Well, we will put this on Zamza's tab.
I didn't even have to get out my official document.
I know that we've met Edge before, probably when we were getting off the boat,
Mhm.
but I just have this image in my head. Edge is just like, okay, shrug. So anyone can just be like, hey, bill it to Zamza. And he's like, all right.
Because Zamza will
Zamza gets
kill
back
them.
and he's like, what is this?
Like, no one's going to randomly bill things to Zamza because Zamza will find them.
He goes,
Like, if you could bill to the local mob boss, would you?
so,
True.
how many of you are going?
I believe all of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 of you? All right.
I raise my hand.
Yes, Elf.
Oh no, I'm going.
Yes, 6
Okay,
of us. Sorry.
yeah.
Elendil is still getting used to travel.
Ori confusedly raises his hand and then quickly lowers it.
My companions are
Don't be shy. What did you have to say? Or
No, he saw Elandriel raise his hand, say there's going, so Ori started following suit to raise his hand, and then just kind of quickly started putting it down.
Are you familiar how younger children, when they are attempting to go on a trip, are requested to raise their hands and then they do so? That's all that's happening here. Don't mind it.
I am not familiar with that custom.
6. And he writes down that and he goes, all right, and what are your names to put under for the tickets?
We have Seven, Ore, Ito, Alandil, Samantha, and my name is Mortimer.
All right, so we have Mortimer, Samantha,
Mortimer.
Ito, Ore, Alandiel, and Sefin?
Yes.
All right. Very well. We will have your tickets waiting in the morning.
Thank you.
I recommend that you be here no later than 9.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you very much. All right then, food.
Yes. Shall we eat at that delicious place that serves animals of the
The
ocean?
seafood place. Yes, that does sound
Yes.
wonderful. The locals. Onward.
So, is Mizeki short for Mortimer or?
Do you say that right there in front of the person he's just lied to? Are you that dumb?
No,
As
no.
we
Wait
start,
until we at least turn away and like start
Okay.
walking.
Okay, so we've at least moved away a ways.
And this is mostly like kind of an aside, you know. I'm not
Yes.
gonna say this straight out to the guy that he just gave his name and mine as something completely different.
Well, Samantha, sometimes it is better to not go by your first names.
but then how would people know who you are?
They don't need to, especially when they might try to murder you.
He's got a point.
But then how do you get the ticket?
You just remember the name you told them.
You guys have weird customs down here. You can call me what's a common human name? Frank.
Eh,
Yeah, yeah, Frank. That's my name.
You are not a Frank. You're at least an Edward, maybe a Norden.
Ooh, those are good names.
Ernest, perhaps?
You would be a good Ernest, yes. You have that vague air of you know more than you probably should, but don't know how to use it.
Could
like
I be
Ernest.
could I be referred to as Bruce?
You could, yes. Bruce is fine. We should write these down because you all will forget.
Understood.
We just roll up in the No Lands or some other future adventure, and it's like obviously elf guy. Hello, I am Edward. Obvious actual robot. My name is Bruce.
And we've got really bad mustaches and those big nose glasses.
By the way, how is my beard holding up at this point?
I hope well, because if not, we'll be fixing it. We've got until tomorrow morning, and then
It's
a
only
whole
been
week
2
to move.
days.
Oh no,
It,
it's been like 3 weeks since we put the beard on. It was in the middle of
That's
the.
true.
it's been over
Yeah.
a month.
It was before
Yeah.
we went on the ocean to come down here.
Yeah,
Does anyone have mending? Can we mend his beard?
it's fine.
I do
You
actually.
guys did a
Perfect.
great job.
Perfect. We will keep maintaining it and collect materials for it just in case.
Plus, I don't think Ore has taken any damage. I think I hit one time the entire campaign.
No, I actually went unconscious just before we entered the Gnoll Base.
Oh yeah, you're right. You got wrecked by the Knolls because you were up there and they all surrounded you.
Yeah, that doesn't work out well. It hasn't worked out well any of the times it's happened. So we go for seafood.
Sadzi also buried my face in the mud, chasing me down after I was running away.
Yeah, but we cleaned it
Oh, you're right.
afterwards. We've got prestidigitation, don't we? I mean, I know at least I have it.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't. I don't think we have
Well-
mending among us either.
Satsi has mending, she said.
I just said I did.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
So we can maintain and clean his beard pretty regularly. Does magic consider his beard one object? Who knows? That's some like high level arcane shit.
It's like one branch at a time.
It's considered an art piece at this
There
point.
you go. So I guess we get a spot at the seafood place. Is it very busy?
It's always pretty busy, but there's a table for you.
Nice.
As soon as they sit
Hi,
down,
I'm Edward. Is how I
Ito
introduce
just kind of
myself
pauses
to
for a
the
second.
waiter.
Ito just kind of pauses for a second as they sit down, and he's just like, "Aren't we about to go on a boat for a week? Why did we choose seafood again?"
Because it's delicious and a local specialty? Do you really think master chefs will be on the boat?
You make a good point.
We're gonna call you Ironhoof if we need to, because no one's gonna know that name here, and it's not your first name.
You literally already gave my first name.
Well, not now. In the future.
You can
I
call me
feel like
Gray in the
uh,
future.
okay. I feel like nobody would know Ito either, but you know,
Yeah, but it's distinct, and you can't avoid putting yourself in the spotlight.
As we're here and ordering, Seth will order something that is not from the sea. Anything on the menu they have that's like a normal land animal, like a rabbit or a salad with nothing else in it. He's not going to have the seafood.
Burger, chicken tenders.
Yeah, we'll give Stefan the kids menu.
the moment Ito realizes that's an option, like he hears Stefan ordering and he just quickly looks back at the menu to find whatever he was having and pick that instead of seafood.
Mazeki's going for delicious seafood. What are you having, Edward and Bruce?
I'm thinking a nice fish fillet over a warm bed of rice with a little bit of jasmine and some rosemary. Also, I've heard of this fruit. It's yellow. Um, it's got a thick skin and it's got a really sour taste to it. And you spritz a little bit of that on the fish, and it makes it really good.
Mangoes.
I think they called it limons.
Some limon.
Perhaps a banana.
What is Samantha having?
I'll take the all-you-can-eat fish platters.
So I think we're ready. I
Okay.
guess
Yeah, you guys put in your orders
while
and
the
have
grilling
your
is happening,
dinner.
we'll be grilled.
Yeah. While the food is being grilled, it's time to grill Mizeki. Mizeki, how is that ring? And he'll motion to the ring on Mizeki's finger.
It's interesting, certainly. I. What do you want to know? I mean, it's very beautiful.
Have you been able to contact the being that is trapped in the ring?
Contact is a strong word for being very angry at someone and yelling, and occasionally they yell back.
So it is not an amicable arrangement between the two of you.
I, I wouldn't say that. I mean, hmm.
It,
Do you need us to just get it off of you or something?
No, no. It's fine, and that would probably cause me very undue harm.
has he provided you a name?
Is it Neil?
Miseki's going to silently query the evil wind thing for a name. He's going to do this without words at first, on the off chance that it can understand his thoughts, kind of to prove something to himself
Okay.
and see whether it's listening.
What do you think? Like, what are the words you use to ask in your head?
In his head, he will silently say, what does the ring owner think?" But he's not going to like speak it. He's just going to kind of think it.
Okay, so you think, what does the ring owner think?
Yeah.
Right. So in your head he goes, I think lots of things. I think this conversation is going in a poor direction. Best to get off it as quick as we can.
And your name? Neil sounded good.
You can tell them what you wish. You will learn my name when I deem it worthy.
His name is Assbutt.
So the name he gave originally isn't his real name?
Did he give a name?
Yeah, Twister.
Oh shit! He called him. Did he? I thought he just called himself. I thought like he was the Twister. Did he say
Well,
that is his
this is
name?
also out of game. Yeah, no, he did. He told you his name is
Okay.
Twister originally.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to say that. Uh, the South Winds, apparently. He's
Seth
been
looks confused for a minute because there's not a lot of wind underground. Why? Why would the wind be evil?
Can
I
I make
feel
an
like
ongoing insight check during this conversation?
What's your passive insight?
15.
15? Okay.
mine is 12,
Ditto.
which is why
15,
we're in
that
this
is.
situation.
So, yeah. Go ahead and make a deception check, Mizeki.
26.
Yeah. You guys have no idea. Mizeki seems to be giving you completely honest answers.
And he does seem to be consulting something you can't hear.
Not necessarily.
Um,
It's he's pauses to contemplate.
Well, and he kind of looks up at his head.
who was the first one to notice that Mizeki was disappearing? Was it Sadzi or Ori? I think it was one of those two.
Did it in front of all of you, I think.
Yeah, all of you noticed it.
But then someone specifically noticed that the Gnoll's disappearance was similar. I do not think it was me,
I think
being
that was
seven.
Ore.
I don't believe it was Ore,
I
because
don't think
Ore
it was
didn't see
me.
any of them shimmer.
Oh, that's true. Nobody then. Haha. Perfect.
I think I may have said it out of character. I don't know if I said it in character.
Elendil saw them invisible.
I mean, Sefin
Yeah,
was
I
the
mean,
first
Yeah,
one to see
all,
them.
all you guys
That's
that
true.
saw that
Stefan did.
hit
Yeah,
that hit him in melee.
you did see it, and it was visibly similar.
So like I didn't want to bring this up earlier because of the trauma of nearly being dead again. Open to talk if you want to. But that was kind of crazy. Like you went invisible and then came visible and then was stabbed by invisible dudes. Like that was pretty cool in a weird way. Like just the invisibility bouncing around between stuff.
I believe it has to do with the domain of air in general. I'm not particularly familiar with divine or arcane magics. That seems like something some sort of like cloud or something would be able to do, right? Make shimmers.
So in that case, I do kind of want to ask why this thing in the ring would be making them invisible, and you do not see this as a reason to take off the ring.
Out of character question. Can Mazeki state that he can't take it off? Or does he just feel that intensely?
The ring definitely shrunk when you put it on.
Yeah, he knows
And you
he knows
can't move it past your second knuckle anymore.
Can he say that like openly?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the part I wanted to clarify. Well, as you can see, it's a bit small now, and I have been informed that removing it in other forms would cause me extreme harm.
One might say losing a finger is extreme harm, yes.
No, more like perhaps the sort that involves diamonds and clerics.
I didn't know that you were going to marry a cleric.
Yes, well, they do have quite the divine appearance.
Out of character, I was tempted there to have Ito make a joke about the fact that we do have both of those things, just not enough of the diamonds.
Or enough of the cleric.
I know people that can. It's a long boat ride home though.
Yeah, it should be a very long time for me to be dead. So,
I guess it depends on how dead you would be.
very is my understanding, and it doesn't seem like this is a fair arrangement. So I'd rather not push my luck with that.
Do you feel that this South Winds is trying to assert his will over you?
Um, I believe that it tried at one point and failed, and then resorted to direct physical conflict instead. When attempting to dominate the mind didn't work, they went straight to attempting to murder me instead, and that didn't work, and here we are at a general agreement.
So the Gnolls was them?
No, they made the gnolls invisible, I think. And were going to shoot me with my crossbow.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay, okay.
My guess is we're basically in, like, you know how if you have dealings with people that aren't fully above board and they're kind of bad people and they can kill your family or whatever?
No.
Okay, well, it's kind of like that. So imagine there's a really bad person, but they have something on you.
Okay. Like what?
Maybe they have your sister or your wife, your daughter or your mother kidnapped.
No. That's
Right.
a horrible thing to do.
And so either you do what they want to an extent, or that kidnapping either never ends or ends very badly.
That's despicable.
Yeah, well, evil elements don't really have morals as far as I know.
Mizeki, at this point, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
17.
You need to change the conversation topic now.
So that's enough about that. We're going to be on a boat for a week. What are we going to do in that time?
Seven's been stroking his beard this whole time, and he's gonna raise his hand as like not raise it in the air like a kid saying call on me, but like raise it to like stop, like in the stopping motion towards Mizeki, and then have a dramatic pause, and then he'll say, "One moment," before we change the subject, and then he'll look to everyone like in the eye around the table. Let us make a pact together that we will never adorn any sort of magical item before we figure out its properties. It would save us much harm, and he'll look directly at Mizeki, to not trifle with powers we do not understand.
I mean, I agree to
Agreed.
all that, but a little late, isn't it?
For
Sometime.
Mizeki, perhaps, but moving forward into the future, let us not wield or wear unknown objects. They cut off Mizeki's hand. No, I'm just kidding.
Ah!
Ito has, in fact, been just. He's got a hand sitting on one of his hand axes this whole time. Not above the table, but.
Ore has been keeping an eye on that ring throughout most of this conversation, contemplating very much the same way, like, how could I remove that ring? Can I make an
Bugler
Arcana
has been
check?
enjoying his fish.
Can I make an Arcana check on what possibilities would remove that ring?
You can.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's a big old fat natural 1 for a total of 5.
If you killed Mizeki, it would totally work.
You know that rings can be taken off. You know, rings go on, rings come off. So
Can't explain that. That seems fair. Let's not attempt to remove the dangerous magical item that will kill me if removed. Yes?
Agreed.
As long
I
as you're
believe
not
we
a
could
danger
remove
to
it.
us.
I believe we can remove that at this table if you would really like us to try.
No. No, I would not. Thank you, Bruce.
Once we get some more diamonds, we can circle back around.
So,
Zamza did say he would arrive in 1 month's time. Surely one of the counselors can aid us in our plight. There are magics that can do this.
so Bruce is
Yeah.
the name I should be using going forward.
No, not necessarily. That's up to you, really.
Oh, I'm confused by these rules.
They're less rules and more guidelines.
I'm still confused by these guidelines.
That's normal.
I have found I am confused often.
So what are we doing for the week while we're on the boats? Anything interesting anyone wants to do? Math, puzzles, a treatise on elves.
I would like to. I would like to see if we can obtain a map of the wilds and possibly peruse this book for more details on where we might possibly find Fertle's blessing going forward. If that is a course of action we would like to pursue when we are finished with the gnolls.
That seems like a fair thing. We really are behind on that, aren't we? We don't know where they've gone. We don't know who they were beyond a name that is a mercenary company and could dissolve.
Yeah, but we broke their portal.
We should inform any Gnoll government or council that there is a group trying to sully their name and their disposition.
I think that's a good plan, but I think it
But
should be
what if
done
they're in
cautiously.
on it? What if
Exactly.
they not Mizeki. What did you say your name? Mortimer? Like what Mortimer was saying about people doing bad stuff like kidnapping people and like making other people do things. Maybe the government could be those bad guys telling these people to do bad things.
We cannot approach every situation from a place of distrust. To
I
do
mean, yes, we
so
can.
would unravel the very fabrics of civilization and the goodwill between the nations we have built. We must go to the
Be careful.
proper representatives of the Knolls and inform them of this grave danger to their kind and image.
I'm just saying we should probably be careful not to be too blatantly obvious that we're doing that at the time.
Stefan
Yes,
speaks
indeed.
wisely.
Samantha should not join this part of the expedition.
Uh,
Or perhaps she should, in disguise as a test before we arrive at Kuche.
Yeah, not.
I think we could, with a week, I could disguise Samantha.
I'm good. I'll be happy to stay out of a place I was almost killed. Thank you.
You don't trust my ability to disguise you. Have you seen Bruce's beard?
And we were just talking about the Knoll Embassy or whatever they call it here in the town. I mean, clearly we need Samantha to come with us to Kuche, which we'll probably have to address in character, seeing as there's traumatic experiences there.
Ore also leans forward so Sadzi can get a better look at the beard.
It's a nice beard.
It's a
So,
immaculate beard.
so Samantha can
It's very
stay
distinguished.
while we speak to any gnolls here. But we will need to figure out something more lasting for Kuche, since it is council business and you were one of the ones directed to travel there. Speaking of, didn't you get like a letter or something you're supposed to give to someone?
I did get a letter, but I don't believe it needs to be given to anyone unless I'm in a situation that would necessitate that.
Ah, okay.
What's it to
Ito
you?
pauses around. Ito pauses around the time when Mizeki says the words, "This is council business," and he's like, "Right, I forgot to ask about this. What council are we working for? Are you all working? Am I working for them now by traveling with you?"
You are at best subcontracted to us.
You work for the council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
You are on this council.
I know.
So I would not say that you are effectively working for the council, and spreading that in general is probably not the best idea. You will
Okay,
be compensated, of course, for any troubles we encounter on the way, but I doubt we were given carte blanche to simply add people to our less than open mission.
We also
okay.
weren't explicitly told we couldn't.
Sometimes it is best not to reveal everything that you possibly could.
I'll
Seth,
lean over. You're cool with me, Ido. Ito.
Ito, I
He
am
just
also
just
here
kind
of
of
my own volition.
oh, okay.
I was not commissioned by council to participate in this endeavor. My participation is one of searching of destiny.
Seven.
Wonderful.
At this point, you hear a voice inside your head. Says,
Oh, I get a
Sefin,
voice too.
need your location. Urgent matter with the king. You've been requested by name. We'll pick you up in 1 hour's time, supposing no complications.
At this, Seth looks highly uneasy to the point where you guys can all tell, most likely. Does he recognize the voice?
You can tell that it's a dwarf, and it is in dwarvish that it is spoken, but you do not specifically recognize the voice.
Okay, and I recognize that it's a sending spell, similar to
Yes.
Kwazamza. So he will respond immediately with the name of the restaurant in Bracknell, preparing to depart for Kuche in the morning. What of the king? Even though he knows he probably can't get a response, but there's lots of mages in the king's court, so if it really is the king, then he suspects they can just send him another message because they have lots of spell slots for sending.
All right.
He would also say what inn he's staying at in the event that we're preparing or whatever.
Okay. Uh, you get another message shortly thereafter going, good you're in a place we know. Less likely there will be complications.
The dude
Can't
appears
tell
in
you
the
the
table.
specifics until in person. Too risky.
Seth will send back a message. Um, coming by the docks? Question mark. Meet you there, and then he will abruptly stand up from the table and excuse himself. Excuse me, my friends. I have urgent matter. I must meet with someone privately. Uh, I I will see you again in a few hours. And then he just like turns to start leaving. And this would
Okay.
be really weird because we were just in the middle of a conversation. Yeah. And then he looked kind of weirded out. And then he just gets up and is like, I gotta go.
Mizeki will message him as he leaves and just ask, "You good?" And Sefin is the only one that can hear that.
So now you
Yeah.
hear Mizeki's voice in your head.
So many voices in my head. Seth, being relatively versed in arcane magics, that's the power source of all of his mystical tattoos as arcane magic. He'll look back to Mizeki and then in his mind respond, um, potential danger to my king.
You
I
actually
must
have
attend
to
to this.
whisper it.
You don't accidentally hear the south winds when you connect to his mind, does he?
You're not connect. First off, you're not connecting to my mind. You hear me whisper like by your ear.
Yeah.
And I can't hear you if you think back at me. You have to whisper back, but no one else can
Yeah.
hear.
You guys at the table see Mizeki finger guns and then move his mouth and like go and then Seth he'll whisper that back and then leave.
Sounds good.
When Sefin gets up and walks away, Ore turns to Elandriel. Is this a normal custom?
He's got
Not
some
what I'm
business.
familiar with.
Just a little bit of dwarf
Didn't
business.
bother to pay.
I sure hope so.
You look back and there's a gold coin on the table.
It's our gold coin.
Yeah, Sefin the master thief stole a gold coin from Mizeki's purse.
Seven was Shadow all along. All right.
he he
We let
turns the
Seven go
quarter
in.
and just morphs into a black tabaxi.
Beautiful. We'll go back to eating, I guess, and let him do whatever he's doing.
Okay.
Not really a fan of this whole sending spell. It's kind of creepy. And it doesn't exactly ask for your consent.
Yeah, that's been like 3 sendings in an hour.
I wonder if they charge taxes on it, like with sending spam mail.
All right. So the rest of you are all just staying at dinner. No one wants to go follow Sefin.
I mean, we just had a really long conversation about how I'm carrying around evil, and the party seems willing to potentially kill me, so I don't think following would be a good idea.
Ore hasn't been eating. He didn't order any food. So after like 30 seconds, a minute or so, Ore will also excuse himself. Excuse me, I'm going to check on Sefin. I'll be back shortly.
Does
And
he
I
do it
take off
abruptly
after.
just like that too? He just like stands
Yeah,
up like, I'm leaving.
yeah. In his head right now, he's like, "This is a normal custom." Okay, yeah. So he does the
This is
same thing.
how it's done.
If the food has arrived, Ito's just gonna like pick up his plate and follow.
As you try to leave with your plate, you are stopped. Uh, sir, that's ours. You can't take that outside.
uh, oh, oh, um, okay, one moment. And he's just gonna like dig around in his bag for anything he can put it on. And I think he's just settles on getting as much of it into his mouth as he can, and then continuing on his way with the rest of his food in his hands.
He just looks like a chipmunk right now with these huge cheeks full of seafood,
The
but
Seki
not
will
seafood.
lean out and just be like, "He's not from here."
the tabaxi just kind of looks at the plate that you handed him and just kind of stares at you as you stuff your mouth and go, uh, uh.
He was captured in a cave for a little while. Don't worry about it. You guys are all so weird.
We're such a fun party.
All right.
That's why it's almost in parentheses a functional is the parentheses party.
Okay.
The dysfunctional gang.
So, Sefin, you don't get very far in a minute. So Ore will probably see you up ahead. I imagine you're not trying to hide. You're just making
No.
your way towards the docks where you said you would be.
He's going back to the inn real quick to pick up some odds and ends first, and then because he has an hour, they said, and the inn's not that far away, so
Right.
he's going to the inn first. Is probably where Ori catches up to us. Me.
Okay. Yeah, Ore, so you see Sefin making his way back towards the inn. And then, Ito, you can follow Ore with your food in your mouth as you're going.
As soon as Ore sees Sefin at the inn, just kind of approach him. Were you compelled to leave by Mazeki's burden? Did the south wind encourage you to leave at that time?
Seth looks to Ore and he thinks about lying for a second, and then kind of like bats that out of his mind because he's kind of with shame because that's not his ways. And then he'll think to himself, Mizeki's rubbing off on me too much. But then he'll look at Ori and pause while he's thinking all that in his head and say, "No, honestly, my friend, um, I received a message from my king, my nation. I have a duty I must perform. It seems there may be danger back home under the mountain."
Oh, should we designate some of the party to attend with you to see to this task that you have?
Seth is gonna reach his hand out and take Ore's robotic hand, like the back of his hand, so that his palm is up, and like move it up, and then he's gonna place the sending stone in Ore's palm, and say, "You should take care of this, my friend. Um, I do not know what this entails. It was an urgent matter. I've been requested specifically. I will gather my things, meet at the docks, and I plan on meeting the rest of the party. But
the message was clear that they were to meet me at the docks, and I do not know where this will take me.
I believe I understand your intent. I do not understand the situation, but I trust you. I hope to see you again soon, my friend.
And Ore would note, and then Ito after. Seth is openly talking about a king, which is pretty weird, right? In these times, right? Like Ito probably wouldn't think about it. He'd probably be like, oh yeah, kings. And Ori might not either because both of you are from the long past or have an understanding of the long past. But for any like passersby or anyone else, they would be like, "Why is the king?" Because like the fact that the dwarves have a king is kind of a hidden thing. The counselor is specifically not the king, um, because all the other nations are all up with the bourgeoisie and down with the nobles type thing. So they don't openly speak of this. But Sephin is very rattled and out of sorts, so he's speaking more freely, and he trusts Ore immensely. Ito, you know, enough.
Yeah, Ito, he probably doesn't register it immediately, and then after a second or two, he's trying to piece together like why Sefin hesitated before saying anything, and then he's like just thinking, isn't that like a thing here? Is and so he's just gonna go, Sefin, are you from Umberwall? Are you from this area or somewhere else?
I'm not from this area, no. I'm from the Hand of the Gods mountains, well, specifically beneath them. But your kind rarely know the names of our cities under the mountain.
Well, I don't seem to know the name of anything on this continent, so that makes little difference to me.
He'll turn to both of you and just say, "Do me a favor, and when you speak with the others, just I will act as if I will return with you on the boat in the morning, and I will send messages if I'm unable to. But I do have every intention to fulfill our mission to the council."
I understand. May the Star Mother light your way. Be safe on your journey, my friend.
And Seth will like clasp his hands together and like give a little bow to Ore, and then touch him on the shoulder and give him guidance. And it's more of like a ceremonial, like thing, because Ore, sentimental is the word I was looking for. Because obviously Ore can cast guidance himself, but it's just kind of like a goodwill, like, and you too. And then he'll go into the inn and get his things and go to the docks.
Okay. So you get your things and you go to the docks. You're sitting there waiting for a little while. And then after the hour passes, you
Do I see a
see
dwarven ship?
no. You see
Bummer.
6 dwarfs appear out of nowhere on the docks. You recognize a few of them as King's Guard. One of them definitely more arcane than the others. Looks at you. Sephin?
He will do the dwarven salute that they don't really show to others. Kind of like, it's not like complex, but like put his closed fist over his heart type thing, and say, "Yes, it is I. What needs the king of me? What needs has the king of me?"
King Goldreach has requested to speak to you in person. Come.
He'll go with them and like nod his head.
All right. So, you gather up together with the rest of them. And let's see here. All right. In a single blink, You are back in a familiar place, under the mountain, in the city where you grew up, in the hand of the Gods Mountains. The
Right about
king's
now is when he knows that something is going down.
the king's guards lead you into the throne room, walking you up to the throne, where you see a woman sitting there, but not the woman you were expecting, not the older face, the brown hair of the king that you know, King Goldreach, but instead you see the much younger face of your friend growing up, Maeve Lean Goldreach. Instantly, you
He
know something is wrong, given that it should be her mother on that throne, not
Are there
her.
others in the room with us?
Uh, just the guards that you came in with. The rest
Okay.
are stationed outside the throne room.
He goes up he's kind of beside himself at this point. And so he approaches the throne, which is breaking protocol because he needs permission. And he's kind of like getting emotional. And he opens his arms and he goes, May, May, what, May, what has happened? And he's using a very personal name. So obviously the guards would think nothing of it because they're her guardians and things like that. But these two grew up together. They were like best friends. They were always challenging each other and pushing each other, and so she's like his best friend in the entire world. And the fact that her mom, the former king, is gone, it fills Stefan with quite a high degree of distress.
She looks at you with tears in her eyes. She says, "My mother. She was on a diplomatic trip to our sister tribe on Manway in Golden Ruff. We haven't been able to contact her or any of her guards in 2 days. As such, emergency protocol has taken place, and I am now acting king of the High Throne of Bedrock, until such time it is discovered that either my mother is gone, and as she says that, her voice shakes, or we discover her and return her to the throne. I know
Steph will Seth will keep approaching to the point where like the guards are probably getting a little uncomfortable because he's gonna get to like within arm's length of her, and then his arms are still outstretched and it kind of looks like he's gonna give her a hug. But then he goes down on one knee and now he's crying too. There's like tears streaming down his face and they're like pattering on the floor. And he goes, "My king, what would you have of me?"
we've always talked, and we always thought that there would be more time, but we always agreed you would be my king's guard. And now I must call you in."
As you wish, my king, he says, and he stands and he's like how your face is like pink and puffy, like his eyes are all like puffed up. Um, and you can see basically like all of the wards on his body are just like glowing. And he looks to May in her eyes and he says, "I will give my life for you. I swear it, my king."
And with that, we will end.
Well, hang on. I'm sure Ore and Ito would return to the table at the fish restaurant. Ore will approach the table and sit down and say, Stefan should be back shortly.
Okay.
Huh. I doubt it. You don't
He said
usually.
just a couple hours.
I doubt it. Hours for dwarves aren't hours.
Saji just gives Ori a thumbs up and shoves another piece of fish into her mouth.
Let's hope he returns, but yeah. He was messed up.
I'm not sure he is the one who's messed up. Let us continue discussing the ring on your finger.
Let's not. Don't we have the telescopes coming out tonight, Ori? What are you looking forward to seeing?
The stars.
Any in particular? You can't just look at the stars, right?
For this season, we may still be able to see the constellation of Citrine the Shark. It is wonderful. I used to revel in it when I was younger, at the tower. And then he kind of drifts off it.
And now we're gonna fade off as Mizeki continues to distract Ori from asking difficult questions.
All right. So, that is where we will end for this week. We will pick up next week with everybody in the wilds. So, find out maybe what happens to Sephin from there. But thanks everybody for coming out, for hanging out, watching with us.
Yay.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.